Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session all about alcohol reduction. And I was working with a client that knew that the path that they were on in terms of the quantity of daily drinking probably would have a very serious health consequence at some point in the future. Now, they didn't know exactly when that was going to happen. It was just highly probable based on the amount of, in their case, beer that they were drinking and the frequency and the quantity that they were drinking it. So they had an idea that they wanted to avert that danger on the horizon. It's almost like if the Titanic had seen the iceberg ahead early enough, then they could have made a detour. Now, the iceberg in this case would be some serious health condition, perhaps even a heart attack or a stroke or something just horrible. And he knew it was on the horizon and there was an opportunity to avoid that. So this hypnosis session starts with an element of disassociation and induction on a boat. And then it goes through this element of timeline. And the first timeline takes them to a horrible future if they continue to drink at the level where they're drinking. And the second is actually a process of three key components. One, tapering off. So 5 or 6 days of just reducing how much they're having. And then a beginning transitional phase of not having any alcohol at all. And that's important because by having no alcohol at all, the body then adapts and gets used to having no alcohol. So then when they introduce moderate amounts of alcohol, that actually feels like a win compared to just going from drinking lots to drinking less. You need something to change things. And the withdrawals that it was highly likely that they were going to experience are positioned in this hypnosis session as a signal of the body adapting. And that is what withdrawals are. The problem is that most people give a different meaning to withdrawals, and that is that they're feeling something horrible and going back to what they were doing before will make the withdrawals go away. And while that's true, it traps people in the destructive behavior that they want to change. So therefore, the true meaning of withdrawals is that the body is freaking out because it doesn't have what it's normally getting. And in doing so, it then has to adapt. And at the point where I'm actually recording this, I'm 2.5 days into a 4-day fast. So I've not eaten any food for nearly 3 days. And in the first couple of days, your body is freaking out because it's used to having food. But once you give it the connotation that, okay, this is required for the body to adapt, for the stomach to shrink, for the energy levels to go down, then it takes on a different meaning at all. And then it becomes a very manageable thing. Now, obviously, this client was about alcohol. What I'm going through right now is about fasting. And I'll probably do a recording soon just to help anyone else wanting to go through a fast for either health benefits or weight loss benefits. Now, speaking of weight loss benefits and health benefits, in the description, you can get 22 downloads completely free without my intro, without my explanation, without the outro, just the hypnosis sessions. So if you do like this type of hypnosis that I do, but you don't want to hear me rambling on beforehand, click the link in the description to get 22 hypnosis downloads completely free. And one of them is based on alcohol reduction. Another is based on weight loss. So if any of those things appeal, check that out in the description. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And as they close, feel a sense of release. That any tension around your eyelids feels like it's melting away. And when you breathe in for slightly deeper than you normally would. Breathing in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just imagine that in the outward breath, that as you exhale, stress, tension, any worries is feeling like it's leaving your body in that outward breath. And some people think of their intuition as a communication channel of the unconscious mind. And I want you to think of a color that represents resourceful relaxation. And whatever color comes to mind is your intuition giving you a clue that that's the right color for this feeling. And then as you breathe in, imagine breathing in a bright color that represents that resourceful relaxation. Imagine that bright color going in your nose, into your lungs. Perhaps you can even imagine your heart. Just as it takes oxygen from your lungs, imagine it taking that resourceful relaxation and imagine it pumping it around in your blood cells, that resourceful relaxation to every cell in your body. And as you exhale, instead of imagining that it's just that carbon dioxide, I want you to imagine seeing dark, grey shadows leaving your body in the outward breath, and allow these dark shadows to represent anything unresourceful, feelings of dependency, reliance, stress and worries. Anything unresourceful, just imagine it leaving your body in your outward breath. So as you breathe in that bright color and exhale those dark shadows, imagine what it would feel like that just by breathing in and breathing out is like an emotional transfusion, giving your unconscious the resources it needs and releasing any of those emotions or feelings that impede a wonderful state of change. And just imagine that the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. And as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I'd like you to imagine what it would feel like to be on a boat. Imagine that boat is out on the water, perfectly calm weather, blue skies, sunshine, the kind of weather where you can be on the boat and not need to do anything. And I wonder if you could imagine being on that seat at the rear looking out at the water. And I know sometimes you've looked out at the water and started to daydream, started to imagine how you want things to be. So that seat on that boat, looking out at the water, is already a place where you know how to go into a trance-like state because you've done it before. And as you imagine looking out at the water, continue to breathe in that resourceful relaxation and continue to exhale any stress, worries, or tension. As you feel like you're drifting to a place, a relaxing place, eyelids feeling heavier and heavier. That's it. And very soon I'm going to count downwards from 10 to 1. And with each descending number, I want you to focus on a different part of your body and imagine what that part of your body would feel like to completely release any tension. 10. Focusing on your eyelids, breathing in relaxation and exhaling tension, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. 9. Focusing on your forehead now. You know the muscles responsible for expressions like surprise or concern. As you breathe out, release any tension in your forehead, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. 8. Now focus on your jaw. As you imagine breathing in that relaxation, just feel your jaw loosen and relax. That's it. Letting go. Breathing in and breathing out even deeper, and allow your body to do the breathing for you. No need to force a breath in or force a breath out. Just notice it getting deeper and deeper, slower and slower, more and more relaxed. That's it. And then 7, focus on your neck and your shoulders. And I wonder if you could imagine crystals of ice fused into your muscle tissue. But on that sunny day on the boat, imagine those crystals of ice that represent stress and tension just melting away. That's it. Feel your neck and shoulders relax. And then the 7 turns into 6. Just feel that relaxation spreading down your arms. I want you to imagine what it would feel like for your arms to be so relaxed. They feel like the limbs of a puppet with no strings. Limp, loose, relaxed. And it feels good to become more and more relaxed with each descending number. And then 5. Focus on your lungs, your stomach, your heart, and imagine what it would feel like for your internal organs to relax. That's it. 4, going down into your gut. And if the neck and the shoulders is where stress is sometimes stored, the gut is where echoes of anxiety lay. And just feel any anxiety there in the gut, even if it's an echo, just melting away now. And then 3, feel that relaxation going down into your legs. Top of your legs feeling more relaxed, down into your calf. Feel the calf muscles more and more relaxed as 3 becomes 2, down into your feet. And then 1, just imagine a ripple of relaxation from your toes to the top of your head all the way down to your fingertips. And imagine drifting off into a dream-like sleep. And in that dream, imagine you're still in the same boat, but now seeing that version of you in a dream-like sleep. And just check by lifting up one of your arms to feel how limp, loose and relaxed that arm is, and let it go down by your side. That's it. And I want you to feel what it would feel like to imagine that from this boat you can now see a hologram And this hologram is your future. And we're going to explore two different futures. A future where you continue drinking at the quantity and frequency of alcohol that you have been drinking. But I want you to make this hologram look so real that you can see your future self. And I want you to see yourself a year from now. A year drinking at the same quantity, the same frequency. And maybe there's not much change. Maybe you're just seeing yourself slightly heavier, slightly less energy, needing to drink to sleep. But I want you to take it 5 years out. 5 years of drinking this way. And if you can see a future where there are clues of a deterioration of health, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to imagine stepping into the hologram and feeling what it would be like to have 5 years of drinking this way. Maybe you feel heavier. Maybe there's more inflammation on knees and ankles. Maybe motivation has slipped. Maybe it's caused some issue in a friendship or relationship. I want you to go another 5 years in the future and keep going forward until there is something that can't be reversed. Maybe it's a health scare, a diagnosis. Maybe it's something that impedes your mobility. I want you to use the power of your imagination, not to show you what will happen, but what could happen. What is the worst thing that can happen of 10 years of drinking this way? I want you to get a sense that something is happening that if you had a time machine, you would love to go back 10 years before and make a change. But sometimes we have to make it worse before it can get better. I want you to go forwards in time to the point of maximum pain and distress, where something is happening linked to the drinking that means you would do anything to change it. Maybe you're on your deathbed. Maybe someone you care about is following in your footsteps because they respect and admire you. They're drinking like you are. Whatever it takes to find the point of maximum emotional leverage, go to that place. So much so that this feels not like a should, but a must. An absolute must to make a change. Make it as bad as it needs to be to create a powerful emotional lever, a desire to change. And when you're at that place, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. Feel that determination, that decisiveness. A feeling of being so resolute, nothing will stop you. And then allow yourself to go back on the boat and seeing a different hologram. I want you to see a version of you that for the next 5 days or so reduces proportionately what you're drinking. Consider this 5 days of tapering. I want you to see that version of you adjusting, adapting, and then following that 5 days, perhaps starting on a specific Sunday, I want you to take all of that emotional leverage, that feeling of tenacious determination, that part of you that says enough is enough. And I want you to see that version of you without alcohol. And in the first few days of that 30 days, I want you to see yourself drowsy, fatigued. Maybe see yourself cranky, grumpy, easy to lose your cool. See that when you sleep, you might be restless, agitated. But I want you to see you smile, because that version of you knows that these withdrawals are evidence of your body adapting. What if the withdrawals are the chickens coming home to roost? The nature of any habit is that it's easy to start and difficult to leave. But I want you to see yourself with those qualities that you exude in other areas of your life. Defiant, relentless. I want you to see that version of you that embraces the challenge. The fact that it's difficult is what makes it appealing. So when you're going through that rocky period, you realize the more intense the withdrawals, the less time they go on for. And then see yourself perhaps 5, 6, 7 days of no alcohol, and see that your body is already starting to adapt. I want you to see that you're sleeping well. I want you to see a clue that you're already starting to lose some weight. And I want you to see yourself on a weekday night enjoying a meal, and alcohol doesn't need to be there. And I want you to see yourself on a Friday or Saturday evening hanging out with a friend, and they're drinking, but you're drinking water or another soft drink. And I want you to see the look of pride on your face, accomplishment, that the pleasure you get from becoming an evolved, enhanced version of you feels better than whatever alcohol wasn't doing for you anyway. I want you to see that the first week was definitely the hardest, and the second week, there's moments you're not even thinking about it. I want you to see other people are encouraging you, and whenever anyone encourages you, that puts the wind in your sails. But whenever anyone tries to talk you into becoming that old version of you, destined to crash into the rocks, that provokes defiance and eagerness to prove them wrong, to be your own person. And then I want you to see that 2 weeks turns into 3 and then 4. And I want you to see that your body is already adapting with just 4 weeks of no daily drinking. A brightness to your skin and your eyes, a spring in your step, because you're sleeping better, and that enhances your cognitive powers. You're sharp, the ideas are better. And then I want you to see that future version of you beyond a month. that has created unconscious boundaries, rules of engagement, in the same way that you don't drink on a boat. I want you to see that version of you not drinking on a weekday. I want you to see that version of you not drinking alone. And what does that mean? It means that when you are drinking, it's socially, it's on a Friday or a Saturday evening, and it's always with people. It's to enhance a moment, not deal with anything. I want you to see that version of you choosing to drink, but not needing to drink. And if you can see that future version of you with a kind of relationship with alcohol that feels that you can just live that way forever, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to see that that version of you is ready for this challenge. And I want you to flash back to a time when you did something challenging, where there was a part of you that could have given up, but you didn't. And I want you to harness that feeling, that whatever you felt doing that difficult challenge in the past, step into that version of you and awaken it within you now. I want you to get a sense that you don't have to do this. You are choosing to do this. And I want you to think of your why. Why are you doing this? You don't have to, and yet you're choosing to. And every time you remind yourself why, you unleash the resources to facilitate the how. And when you're crystal clear on your why, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to amplify that why. And perhaps the why links to what happens if you don't change. A good why means that you're rewarded for making the change, and there's a penalty for not changing. As you remind yourself, whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. And each of these holograms you can choose. You can choose to stay the same, or you can choose to make a change. And I want you to think of a time when you were at your maximum level of tenacity. I want you to get a sense that tenacity means that even if there is a setback, you double down. You double down on your resolve to continue. And in the past, maybe it felt like snakes and ladders, that just one drink was permission to go all the way back to square one. But not this future version of you. This future version of you is relentless. It will not allow a setback to represent failure. I want you to get a sense that you are relentless. Any setback increases the resolve, and any progress gives you the feeling of momentum. Whatever happens, you're moving forward. And I want you to think of that version of you that changes your relationship with alcohol. Tapers off for 5 days, no alcohol for 30 days, and then only social drinking on the weekends beyond that. And I want you to see that version of you 10 years from now. I want you to see that version of you looking healthy, full of life, so many wonderful memories and moments. And sometimes all it takes is to compare two futures. The future of not changing, and contrast that with the future of making a change until it becomes obvious. Not what you should do, but what you want to do. This is an empowered choice you are choosing. And when you're clear that you know what you want, why you want it, and how you will get there, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. So allow that to feel like a seed has been planted deep in your subconscious mind, already starting to take root. And over the next few days, you will notice new thoughts that weren't there before, new ideas about what you think about your future. You will see people that have not made the change. All these thoughts will just pop into your brain, and you won't have to do anything because your unconscious is going to work for you. And now that seed has been planted. Just imagine being there on the deck of that boat, seeing you, sat in a rear-facing chair looking fast asleep. Step into that version of you. So the unconscious and the conscious are now one. And very soon, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, start to connect and calibrate into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.